Rita paid for her sister's wedding dress, thinking it was Bella's dream gown. The next day, she found out Bella had secretly returned it for the cash. Rita wouldn't have even known if she hadn't walked past the shop the next day. It was her day off, and she was running errands when she saw the boutique's window display. The same shop where Bella had twirled in front of the mirrors, beaming when she saw herself in the dress Rita bought for her. It made Rita smile, remembering how happy Bella looked. Rita had worked extra shifts, skipped vacations, and saved every extra penny to afford it. Bella kept saying how much she loved it, how it was perfect. Rita thought, this is worth it. She had no real reason to go inside, but on a whim, she stepped in. The woman at the counter recognized Rita immediately and smiled. "Oh, you must be happy she found something she really loves," she said. At first, Rita thought she meant the dress they picked, so she nodded. Yeah, Bella was over the moon about it. The woman hesitated. Right. I just wasn't sure if she told you already. A strange feeling settled in Rita's stomach. Told me what? She came back first thing this morning and returned the dress, the woman said carefully. We don't usually do refunds, but she said there was an emergency, so we made an exception. For a second, Rita didn't react because it didn't make sense. The words hung in the air, but her brain refused to put them together. She returned it? Rita forced out the words. Did she pick another one? The woman gave her a confused look. No, she just took the cash refund. Rita felt lightheaded. Her sister had been so excited. Bella had posted on social media. She had taken pictures. She had hugged Rita and said it was the best gift ever. And then she just took the money. Rita swallowed, her mouth suddenly dry. Are you sure? Yes, I handled the refund myself, the woman said. She said something about unexpected expenses, and we felt bad, so we let it go. Rita didn't even remember mumbling a thank you before she turned and walked out of the store. Her hands were shaking as she pulled out her phone. She opened Bella's profile, still trying to convince herself there had to be some explanation. Then she saw Bella's newest post, a boomerang video of her laughing, sipping a cocktail with a caption, "Much needed getaway." Rita's stomach twisted. She scrolled down. Another post, a full body shot in a bikini at a luxury resort. Blue ocean stretching behind Bella. And then it hit Rita. Bella used the money for a vacation. The dress Rita had worked so hard to buy wasn't good enough to keep, but the cash was perfect for a beach trip. Rita stood frozen on the sidewalk, staring at her screen, unable to breathe. She thought back to the way Bella hugged her when she paid for the dress. Bella had tears in her eyes. She called Rita the best sister in the world. Was Bella lying the whole time, or did she just change her mind overnight? Rita called her. Bella didn't pick up. Rita texted, "Where are you?" No response. She tried to tell herself not to jump to conclusions. Maybe there was an explanation. Maybe Bella really needed the money for something else. But a vacation? Rita's mind raced. Had Bella planned this all along? The boutique only allowed store credit for returns. But if Bella told them it was an emergency, she must have made up a whole story. Rita's sister was not struggling financially. She wasn't rich, but she and her fiancé both had decent jobs. If Bella wanted a trip, she could have saved up like everyone else. Instead, she took Rita's money, the money Rita had earned working weekends, picking up shifts, skipping things she wanted just to give Bella something special. Rita started walking, not even sure where she was going. She was just angry. Then she remembered their parents' house. Maybe Bella was there. It wasn't far, and before she even thought about it, Rita was knocking on the door, her hands still shaking. Her mom opened it, surprised. "Rita, what's wrong? Is Bella here?" Rita asked, trying to keep her voice steady. Mom frowned. "No, she's on vacation." "Didn't she tell you?" Something inside Rita snapped. "She told me she loved the wedding dress I bought her," Rita said, her voice rising. "She told me it was her dream gown. And then she went back the next day and returned it for cash." Her mom's expression barely changed. "Oh, is that what this is about?" she said, sighing. She did mention something about changing her mind. "She didn't change her mind," Rita said, her voice shaking. "She took the money and used it for a vacation." Mom gave Rita a disapproving look, like Rita was overreacting. "It's not a big deal." She needed a break. Rita couldn't believe what she was hearing. "I paid for that dress," Rita said, her voice louder now. "I worked extra shifts. I skipped vacations. And she just threw it away like it meant nothing." Her mom waved a hand. "She didn't throw it away. She used the money for something else. It's her wedding, Rita. She has a lot on her plate right now. Something inside Rita felt like it was crumbling. She had spent years doing everything she could to be the good sister. Whenever Bella needed help, Rita was there. If Bella was short on rent, Rita covered it. If Bella wanted something she couldn't afford, Rita found a way. And every time Rita told herself, this is just what family does. But this wasn't some small thing. Bella had lied. She looked Rita in the eye, let Rita believe she was doing something nice for her. Then she ran off to the beach with the money instead. Mom gave Rita a puzzled look. What do you mean? I mean, I'm done being her personal bank, Rita swallowed. I'm done being taken advantage of. Mom opened her mouth to respond, but Rita turned and walked away before she could hear whatever excuse her mother was about to make. As Rita got into her car, her phone buzzed. A text from Bella. Finally. Maybe Bella had something to say for herself. Rita opened it. Hey, can you cover my nails and hair for the wedding? I'll pay you back later. Smiley face. Rita stared at the message, her fingers tightening around her phone. And then, for the first time in her life, she ignored Bella. She drove home in silence, gripping the wheel so tightly her knuckles ached. Her heart was still racing, her mind looping over everything that had just happened. The big refund, the social media posts, her mother brushing it off like it was nothing. And then Bella's text asking for even more. Rita wasn't even surprised. And maybe that was the worst part. She sat in her car for a long time after parking, staring at her phone. The message sat there unread past that first glance, as if ignoring it would make it disappear. But it didn't disappear. Neither did the sinking feeling in Rita's stomach. Because deep down she already knew this wasn't just about the dress. It was about every time Bella had taken advantage of Rita. Every time Rita had been told to just help her out or be the bigger person. Every time Rita had let it happen. Rita could already hear her mother's voice in her head. The same thing she always said whenever Bella did something selfish. That's just how she is. That phrase had followed Rita her whole life. When they were kids, Bella was the one who got the new toys while Rita got the hand-me-downs. Rita was older, so she was expected to understand. When they both got allowance, Bella spent hers immediately, then cried to their parents when she had nothing left. They always told Rita to share. Be a good sister. When Rita got her first job at 16, babysitting for neighbors, her parents expected her to buy Bella things. She's too young to work. Rita, just get her a little something. Then when Bella turned 16, she demanded a car. Their parents couldn't afford to get her one, so they came to Rita. Rita, you've been working for years. It wouldn't hurt to help her out. Rita said no that time. She remembered it so clearly because it was one of the only times she had ever refused. Bella had thrown a tantrum, crying and yelling about how unfair it was. And Rita's mom had looked Rita in the eye and said, she's your sister. Don't you want her to be happy? Like it was Rita's responsibility. Like Rita was the selfish one. Bella eventually got the car because their parents took out a loan. And guess who helped make the payments when they struggled? That's how it always was. Bella spent. Bella made mistakes. And Rita picked up the pieces because that was her role. When Rita graduated college, she wanted to take a trip with her friends before starting her first full-time job. She had saved for it, planned for it, and she was so excited. Then Bella decided to move out for the first time. She got a place that was way too expensive, a nice apartment she couldn't actually afford. But instead of getting something within her budget, she whined to their parents and they turned to Rita. She just needs a little help getting settled. You can take your trip next year. Next year never came because the next year something else came up. Then the next year, and the next. Eventually Rita just stopped thinking about vacations altogether. It wasn't just money either. Whenever Bella got into trouble, Rita was expected to drop everything and help. The time Bella failed a class in college and needed tutoring, Rita had to drive to her campus twice a week after Rita's own work hours. The time Bella got into a fight with her roommate, Rita let her crash at Rita's place for months while Bella figured things out, Rita paying all the extra bills without complaint. And every single time Rita got frustrated, when she even hinted that she was tired of always putting Bella first, her mother said the same thing. That's just how she is. As if Bella being selfish was a fixed fact of life, like the weather, something Rita just had to accept. And Rita had, for years, accepted it because she thought that was what family did. But now, sitting in her car staring at her phone, Rita finally let herself ask the question she had never dared to before. Why was it Rita's job to make sure Bella never faced consequences? Why was it always Rita? Why did Rita have to sacrifice while Bella got to live freely, spending recklessly, traveling, having fun. And why was Rita the bad guy the second she dared to question it? Rita let out a shaky breath and put her phone face down, refusing to look at Bella's text any longer. For the first time in her life, she didn't feel guilty about ignoring Bella. Rita went inside her apartment, but she couldn't settle. Her thoughts wouldn't stop. So she pulled out her laptop, not even sure what she was looking for. She opened up her bank statements. Rita didn't know why she had never done it before. Maybe because she didn't want to see it. But she started adding things up. Everything she had ever given to Bella. Rent help, car payments, bills, shopping treats when Bella wanted something, but didn't want to spend her own money. Wedding deposits Rita had helped with. And then, of course, the wedding dress. Rita stared at the final number, her breath catching in her throat. It was more than she had in her savings. She felt sick. She had been so careful with her money, thinking she was responsible, thinking she was being smart. But she had let thousands slip through her fingers, all for Bella, and Bella still wanted more. Rita shut the laptop, and for the first time, she admitted to herself something she had spent years refusing to believe. Bella didn't love her the way she loved Bella. Not really, because love wasn't using someone. Love wasn't taking and never giving back. And love wasn't throwing away someone's hard work without a second thought, then asking for more the next day. Rita had spent her whole life believing that if she just gave enough, Bella would appreciate her. But Bella never would, because Bella never had to. Rita had spent years making sure Bella never felt the consequences of her actions. Maybe that was why Bella didn't even hesitate to return the dress. She thought Rita would always be there to fix it. But now Rita wasn't so sure. The next morning, Rita woke up to missed calls and more messages from Bella. At first, she didn't even check them. She knew exactly what they would say, some version of, "Hey, can you help me with this?" Or, "Rita, I really need." Always needing, always taking. But this time, Rita wasn't in the mood to be guilted into anything. She got up, made herself coffee, and sat at the kitchen table, staring at her phone like it was some kind of test. And for once, she wasn't going to fail it. Rita finally opened the messages. "Bella, hey, saw you called. What's up?" She had ignored Rita's call from the day before. "Bella, can you help me pay for my hair and makeup trial? It's more expensive than I thought." "Bella, Rita?" Then an hour later, "Bella, are you seriously ignoring me?" Then a missed call. Then another message, "Bella, why are you being like this?" Rita took a deep breath. Then for the first time in her life, she typed exactly what she was thinking. "Rita, I'm not paying for anything else, Bella. I worked hard for that dress, and you turned it into vacation money. I'm done." The message sent. Rita put her phone down and waited. It took less than a minute for the dots to appear. "Bella, OMG. Are you seriously mad about that?" Rita's jaw clenched. "Bella, I just changed my mind about the dress. It's not like I threw the money away." "Rita, you used it for a trip." "Bella, so what? I needed the break, and it's my wedding. Shouldn't I get to decide what's important to me?" Rita stared at the message, the sheer entitlement in it. There wasn't even an ounce of guilt. She took a shaky breath and forced herself not to explain, not to justify her feelings. "Rita, that money wasn't yours to spend, and I'm not giving you any more." Silence, then another missed call. Then another message. "Bella, wow, I can't believe you're acting like this over a stupid dress." And that was when Rita knew without a doubt that she was making the right decision. She put her phone on silent and got ready for her day. A few hours later, Rita's mom called. Rita debated ignoring it, but figured she'd just keep trying. So she picked up. Mom didn't even say hello before sighing loudly. "Rita, what is going on between you and Bella?" Rita closed her eyes, already exhausted. She knows exactly what's going on. "Well, she's really upset." "Good," Rita said flatly. Mom gasped like Rita had just committed a crime. "Rita, that's your sister. She says you're refusing to help her with the wedding now. Is that true?" Rita almost laughed. "Refusing to help? Mom, I already bought her a dress, and she turned it into spending money for herself. I've done enough." She said she just changed her mind. "Then she should have told me before taking my money," Rita snapped. "She lied. She looked me in the face and let me believe I was doing something nice for her. Then she ran off to the beach with the money instead." There was silence on the other end. Then Rita's mother sighed again. "You know how she is. That sentence. That awful, infuriating sentence." Rita felt her hands clench into fists. "And you know what, Mom? I don't care anymore." Her voice was firm, steady. I'm not putting her first at my own expense anymore. I'm done. Her mom clicked her tongue like Rita was a child throwing a tantrum. So you're just going to punish her over one little mistake? Rita let out a sharp laugh. One mistake. Mom, do you even hear yourself? She's been doing this her entire life. And you always defend her. She's your sister, her mother repeated, like that was supposed to justify everything. Then maybe she should start acting like it. Silence. Then a much colder voice. If you don't help her, don't expect her to help you when you need it. Rita almost choked on her own breath. Help me? When has Bella ever helped me? And then Rita realized her mother actually believed Bella had been the victim here. Like Rita was cruel for not giving her more money. Like Bella was the one being mistreated. Something inside Rita snapped into place. This was never going to change. No matter what Bella did, Rita's parents would always defend her. No matter how much Rita gave, it would never be enough. But Rita didn't have to play along anymore. She exhaled slowly. I hope she has a great wedding, Mom, but I won't be paying for it. And Rita hung up. Her hands were shaking, but her chest felt lighter. For the first time in years, she had set a boundary. And she wasn't backing down. For the next few weeks, Bella kept trying to act like nothing had happened. She sent casual texts. She tagged Rita in memes. Then she switched tactics, trying to guilt Rita. Bella, I really wish you'd stop being mad. I need my big sister right now. Rita didn't respond. Then the anger returned. Bella, wow, you really don't care about me, do you? Rita still didn't respond. And then Bella stopped trying altogether. Rita's parents stopped calling, too. They weren't happy with Rita, but she wasn't going to chase after their approval anymore. Rita had spent her entire life proving her love for Bella. But love isn't taking advantage of someone. Love isn't manipulating or expecting sacrifice without gratitude. Rita wasn't the bad guy for saying no, and she wasn't going to feel guilty for finally choosing herself. The silence lasted longer than Rita expected. Weeks passed and Bella didn't text her again. Rita's parents didn't call either. It was strange at first, like waiting for a storm that never came. Rita wouldn't lie. There were moments where she almost reached out. Not because she felt guilty, but because she had spent so many years playing the role of the responsible sister. The one who fixed things, the one who smoothed over the mess. But she reminded herself that this time she wasn't the one who made the mess, and she wasn't cleaning it up. Then, about a month before the wedding, Rita heard from her cousin Lena. Lena called out of nowhere, voice hushed like she was about to spill some huge secret. Are you seriously not helping with the wedding anymore? Lena asked. Rita leaned back on her couch. Where did you hear that? Your mom, Lena said. She's been telling everyone that you're punishing Bella because of some petty misunderstanding. Rita sighed, pinching the bridge of her nose. Of course. I'm not punishing her. I just finally decided I wasn't going to be used anymore. Lena was quiet for a moment, then she let out a little laugh. Honestly, good for you. That caught Rita off guard. You're the first person to say that, Rita admitted. Oh, trust me, Lena said. You're not the only one thinking it. Bella's always been, well, Bella. People just don't say anything because your parents always make excuses for her. Rita didn't know whether to feel validated or frustrated. So what's going on? Why are you calling? She asked. Lena hesitated, then said, I thought you'd want to know. Bella's wedding is kind of falling apart. Rita blinked. What do you mean? Well, Lena said, and Rita could practically hear the amusement in her voice. Turns out when you spend all your wedding money on a vacation, there's not much left for the actual wedding. Rita sat up straighter. She had to downgrade everything, Lena continued. She's having it at some random banquet hall instead of the fancy venue she booked. Half the vendors dropped out because she was late on payments. Oh, and the new dress. Apparently, it's off the rack from some department store. A slow, strange feeling settled over Rita. She wasn't happy about it exactly, but she wasn't sad either. For once, Bella was facing the natural consequences of her own actions, and there was nothing Rita had to do about it. Lena dropped her voice lower. And the best part, her fiancé found out about the dress refund. Rita stilled. How? She slipped up, Lena said. Made some joke about the vacation and how at least she got something nice out of it. Rita exhaled sharply. That sounded exactly like Bella. And he's pissed, Lena said. Like really pissed. Apparently, he thought the dress was sentimental to her. He asked why she didn't at least tell him about it, and she got defensive. And you know how Bella is. She can never admit she's wrong. Rita nodded to herself. Yeah, that sounds about right. She tried to spin it like you were overreacting, Lena went on. But the second he heard that you paid for it and that she took the money and ran off to the beach instead, he flipped. Rita raised an eyebrow. Is he still marrying her? Lena sighed. I don't know, but apparently they're fighting all the time now. And your mom's trying to keep it quiet because she's embarrassed. That actually made Rita pause. Her mom was embarrassed. Rita had spent her whole life being told Bella could do no wrong, that she was just carefree or impulsive or needed extra help. And yet, now that other people were seeing Bella's behavior for what it was, Rita's mom wasn't rushing to defend her. Maybe because she finally realized what Rita had always known. Bella wasn't carefree. She was reckless. She wasn't impulsive. She was selfish. And she didn't need help. She expected it. And now that no one was swooping in to fix things, she was finally seeing what life was like when she had to handle the consequences on her own. Are you going to the wedding? Lena asked. Rita thought about it. She hadn't even RSVP'd, but she already knew her answer. No, she said simply. Lena whistled. Well, you really are done, huh? Rita smiled a little. Yeah, she said, realizing it was true. I really am. The wedding happened and it was, from what Rita heard, a disaster. Not in a dramatic, explosive way, just disappointing. Not the elegant, magazine-worthy wedding Bella had imagined. She didn't get the designer dress, the fairy tale venue, or the over-the-top decor she had bragged about. Her fiancé didn't leave her, at least not yet. But people said they barely spoke at the reception. He looked tense, unhappy. And Bella, well, she got exactly what she paid for. Or rather, exactly what she didn't pay for. The whispers started immediately. I thought she had this big fancy venue booked. Why does the food look so cheap? Didn't Rita buy her dress? What happened to it? It turned out when you build your entire personality around making everything look perfect, people notice when things suddenly fall apart. And for once, Rita wasn't the one left scrambling to fix it. After the wedding, Rita got one last text from Bella. I can't believe you didn't show up. You really don't care about me at all, do you? Rita stared at the message for a long time. Then finally, she responded. Rita, I cared about you enough to stop letting you use me. You just don't like that kind of love. She hit send. Bella didn't reply. Maybe Bella finally realized Rita meant it. Or maybe Bella was just too busy dealing with the mess she had made. Either way, it wasn't Rita's problem anymore. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your thoughts. See you in the next video.